We have some miracle stories to tell you about, and we're going to go upstairs now to Kathy Vogel with one of those miracle stories.
That's right. This is all about the children. We've got another champion with us today. His name is Chip Graham, a 10th grader, a 4.0 honor student, very active in his high school, and he is a miracle. He's a special kid. And we're going to talk to him and his family in just a few seconds, but first of all, we want to tell you about his special story. Here's Chip Graham.
We look at Chip as a role model in many of our patients for he's able to take CF as part of his daily life and not let CF overtake what a teenager of his age would really want to do.
16-year-old Chip Graham of New Philadelphia loves to play tennis. Not an uncommon activity for many teenagers, but the fact that he is able to keep pace with the game along with participating in many other activities is truly amazing. Chip is one of many children suffering from cystic fibrosis, a serious disease affecting his lungs. But while cystic fibrosis may affect his lungs, Chip does not let this disease affect his attitude.
2 years ago, it was the decision of the doctors that he needed to have to be interviewed at Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh to be put on the list for a double lung transplant. We went to Pittsburgh and had interviews, and he was accepted and put on the list 2 years ago in May. Now that he's at the top of the list, we were extremely fortunate this past January when we went to Pittsburgh to find out that it was their decision with the doctors at Akron to take Chip off the list. Leave him at the top, but take him off the list temporarily because he is doing very, very well, and postponing the surgery until it's absolutely necessary.
His lung disease would be classified as severe, and despite that, and despite taking multiple medications every day, and despite taking or needing intermittent courses of IV antibiotics, he is able to function very well and go to school and perform in sports and other extracurricular activities, and do that with a smile on his face. Every time he comes into the hospital, everybody who meets him always comments that he is such a very pleasant young man to work with, and everybody enjoys working with him for that reason. The aerobic exercise that he gets with sports, I think, improves his cardiovascular standing, and including the band also, which he marches in. It also improves his mental well-being and gives him something to look forward to every day instead of just looking forward to giving himself medications every day.
The physical activity helps keep his lungs cleared out, and proper nutrition, you know, has played a real big part in it. I know his dietitian up at the hospital, Sharon, is on him all the time about, you know, maintaining that weight. He does have a feeding tube, a G-tube in his stomach, and he gets fed like 5 times a night while he sleeps.
This G-tube has been a blessing, and really, you know, it doesn't make that much difference. I know it's one more thing that Chip has to do, and you just kind of regulate your life around what you have to do, but that isn't what centers our life. It's Chip's activities and the family's activities.
We all felt Chip was a miracle child here at our CF Center because of what he's been able to accomplish. Last summer he had the lead role in Name, a play production down in New Philadelphia, and several of us from the team went down to see that, and it was amazing to watch someone who has severe lung disease be able to get up there and perform on the stage for several hours.
A whisper words of wisdom, let it be.
And champions happen every single day here at Children's Hospital Medical Center here in Akron. It's because of your donations and your generosity that we can make things happen here at the hospital. We've got our champion with us. As you can tell, he's a very handsome man. This is Chip Graham, and we just saw his story, and I want to welcome him and his parents, Bill and Cheryl, and his sister, Christy. Looks very nice in that dress today. Thanks for coming and joining us for the telethon today. Chip, I wanted to ask you, what are some of the activities you really like to participate in?
Well, I like to play tennis, and I like to march in the band, and I like to play the piano and sing along, and I just like to do anything that involves activity like basketball and stuff like that.
Now, if you had to pick your favorite sport, which would it be?
Oh, probably my favorite sport to watch would be basketball. My favorite sport to play is tennis.
So we should see you someday playing against Andre Agassi and Pete Sampras. And probably, you know, doing some serious damage around the courts, right?
I don't know about playing, but maybe damage, I don't know.
Excellent. Can you tell us a little bit about your care at the hospital and how you were treated and some things that you had to go through here?
Well, all my doctors have been really, really nice, and the nurses, I mean, they couldn't be any nicer, and I've had to have 2 surgeries. I had to have part of my lung taken out, and then they had to go back in and suture it because it had collapsed. And they couldn't have been any nicer, and they couldn't have been any more supportive than they already have been.
Thank you. And speaking of support, we need yours. Please call in. We're going to go down to Billy right now.